Hey everyone, I'm Spin Pixie and I'm Thursday's hostess for the Biophilic Alternative. Sorry I did not get to my video until now. Apparently my Thursdays are going to be very busy, so what I'm going to do in the future is just record my videos earlier in the week so that on Thursdays I can just upload them. This evening though, I wanted to take a moment to do a video response to Blue Whisper's video on a new form of bullying. And I would rather you guys watch the article than have me give a synopsis of it, because it's a very delicate topic and I don't really want to take anything that she said out of context. What I will say in brief summary is that she spoke in her video about how she did it really eloquently, and I just couldn't do it justice in the description, but she basically talked about how there is a new form of bullying, and that is when people use things like, oh, nobody loves me, I'm just going to kill myself, or I'm feeling suicidal, or what have you, if they're not getting their way. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know a few people, one of them who's very close to me, who actually has been experiencing and is recovering from being severely depressed and suicidal. And when I see people do things like that, it makes me frankly disgusted. I know that there's something going on there, that they feel that they need to do things like this to draw attention, because they want the attention, and there's something going on there that they want that attention. But it doesn't make it okay. Blue Whisper went into all the definitions of what a bully is or what a bully does, and one of the things that she says was using coercion or force or threats to get one's way when one is a bully. And basically, when someone is doing that, threatening suicide, that's all it is. It's a ploy for attention, a cry for attention. Not all cries of suicide are simply about attention. However, it is more often than not that persons who are suicidal will say nothing. They won't look depressed. They won't act depressed. They won't come off to you as depressed. They might come off to you as the life of the party. And inside they are pondering it, considering it, and maybe even tried it. Someone who is yelling suicide from the rooftops, I can't wrap my head around doing something like that. That's like screaming rape for no reason other than to get someone in trouble that you don't like. That's one of the angles of what I wanted to respond to. I don't find that I would want to spend more time with somebody who did that. I would say, you know what, why don't I just call and get you some help? Because obviously you can't call and do it yourself. And basically, hey, if you're claiming that you're going to commit suicide, then you need help. Let me call your mental health office in your area and have you evaluated. Because if I can save your life, if that's what you need, then let me help you in that way. Otherwise, do not claim that you will hurt yourself, harm yourself, or kill yourself. It's not okay. The other thing is like, and even vague things like, well, one day I just might go somewhere and not come back. I might just disappear. I might blah, 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 excuse me. That stuff it's just so classless. Because, like I said, every day, I think it was 3 seconds, someone commits suicide. And it's making light of that subject, and that's a subject that I take very seriously. And the other thing is that people who do things like this, especially if they are in the witchy community or the pagan community, you have people who will cry suicide, and then you have the empath. The empath who hears their plea and may mistake it as somebody who really is going to hurt themselves. So thereby this person is running rampant, trying to please this person so they don't hurt themselves. And in the end, this empath is, run ragged and has given gifts to appease or placate the person who's, basically just throwing one loud pity party. I debated on whether or not to do this video on this channel or not, but the honest truth is that it needs to be out there. If you know somebody who is constantly threatening suicide, then it's probably best, rather than to placate them, rather than to appease them by giving them whatever it is that they're asking for, simply to get them evaluated. If enough people do that, then one of two things will happen. Either they will get the help that they need, or they will stop crying wolf. I think that it's just a horrid thing to do, to put people through saying that you're going to hurt yourself just because you're not getting your way, just because you aren't getting gifts or time or attention from somebody that you want it from. I just think that there is something there. There's something wrong. But it might not be what they're claiming it is. It could be severe depression. It can be a form of narcissism. It could be a form of personality disorder. It could be any number of things. So next time I see somebody on my Facebook, especially on my Facebook, because chances are if you're really truly suicidal, you're not going to announce to Facebook that you're suicidal. I don't know everybody. I don't know everybody's life. But chances are you're going to keep it quiet. So next time I see somebody post on some sort of social media that, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, guess I'll go eat worms and kill myself, I'm going to call the mental health state office in your area and have you evaluated. Because people who do these kinds of things, they do need help. And the empaths in the witchy community, I kind of got off on tangent there, but the people in the witchy community, especially if they're the empath who don't have like the shields or the discernment or whatever you want to call it, their protection in place to stop from being sucked dry of energy, time, emotion, or what have you, they might get sucked into this kind of behavior wherein there's this one person who's constantly demanding and they are trying to appease the demand so that this person doesn't harm themselves. And that's not fair to anyone, especially that empath who is running circles trying to please somebody. So I'm just, I just wanted to put this response out there because I felt like that was the only thing that she didn't touch on. And I agree with her 100%. And like I said, I don't want anyone to think that either she or I are making light of anyone who is depressed or suicidal or, engages in self-harm and needs help. That is not what is going on here. But I have known throughout social media, people who do these things where they say, basically, there was a status that I saw not too long ago from someone who on Facebook about not being liked by the popular kids or the popular group, and they were going to just end it. To some extent, that was basically their post. And I was, they say that especially in the case of men, 1 in 25, men who commit suicide you'll never even know, or people who commit suicide you don't even know. The person that was really close to me, that had this, that was suicidal, that was depressed, that was having these issues, you never know. You would never know. You maybe thought that maybe this person had a bad day every once in a while, or just wanted to be alone, or was tired, or whatever. You didn't know the immense turmoil this person was going through. And I've had other friends, I've had other friends cry wolf, and then I've had some friends who are actually in this predicament, where they couldn't, they couldn't share. Suicide is not something that people want to talk about. Self-harm is not something that people want to openly talk about to the world all the time. Not until they begin to conquer the mountain. And even still, there are backslides and things that happen. And it just really angers me when people make light of this turmoil, this struggle, this hell, by using this to make people appease them. And I think I'm going to end my video here before I get too worked up, but honestly, I understand that everybody has a bad day. I understand that everybody has a sad day. I understand that things don't always go the way that we want them to go. And some people are on different levels when it comes to coping skills and having coping mechanisms. I understand this. But if you are somebody who feels like crying wolf is the easiest way to get people to pay attention to you, you might want to examine that and get any help that you might need. Because I guarantee you, if I know who you are and I see you doing that, I will call the mental health services in your area. Because I take it very seriously, for one. And I do agree with Blue Whisper in that this is a certain form of bullying, sort of passive-aggressive type, maybe, of bullying, and it's not okay. It's not okay. Because for the people who are using their resources to try and save you, to try and help you when all you wanted was your way, for all these people helping you, there's somebody who's going unnoticed. There's somebody who's cutting the wrist. There's somebody who's taking that step that you don't come back from. So I would just rethink those kinds of posts. And in the link, I'm going to post the number for the National Suicide Hotline. Because really, if you are feeling that way, call somebody. So thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry this was such a heavy topic, but I just felt that it needed to be said. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. Many blessings.